Why did you decide to act so quickly? Almost just as soon as you got your feet under the desk, did you fear you wouldn't have that much time?
I certainly did. I think in public life, you're only on the stage for a short time, and I don't want to be one of these people that waste the opportunity. I want to make a difference. I want to make my state better, and I want to make my country better. And again, I didn't want to die wondering. We've got an enormous opportunity to do the right thing for our environment, reducing our emissions. Australia faces, some of the most severe threats of the world not taking action on climate change. That's a really compelling reason to take action. But also, we've got an opportunity to create new industries, to create new jobs, and to see prosperity coming into our country in a way that no generation before us has seen. As I said, half the world's wealth today is being generated in jurisdictions that have committed to net zero emissions. So those international markets that have underwritten our prosperity as a nation, for generations, they're changing the kinds of products that they're going to want from countries like Australia, and we're really well placed to provide them. And in doing so, grow the overall size of our economy, lift living standards in this country, and set us up for an even more prosperous future. So why wouldn't we act?
I want to sort of shift to the actual energy policy. You do have an energy plan for New South Wales, and it's based on something called renewable energy zones. I wonder if you could just tell us in a simple way, why renewable energy zones, what are they, and will they actually produce the power we need?
Marian, renewable energy zones are effectively modern day power stations. Our plan in New South Wales is to shift our energy system from older technology like thermal coal to newer technology like wind, solar, pumped hydro, batteries. And the renewable energy zones will give effect to that. What we will do is create areas where our best renewable resources are located, like in the New England, like on the Hunter Central Coast, like out in the Dubbo region, where we will use those renewable resources, turn them into electricity, and bring that electricity into the market. So the zone itself coordinates the build of generation with transmission that will be delivered in time to replace our existing coal-fired stations, which are coming to the end of their technical lives.
So basically, you're going to link up big solar resources and wind resources with transmission lines.
Yeah, we're going to bring wind, solar, and firm it up with things like pumped hydro and batteries. So they're the creation of electrons, and we're going to get those electrons to households and businesses by building big transmission lines. So it's about coordinating new technologies to make sure that we keep the lights on and we bring power prices down in a way that ensures that it's a seamless transition from older technology to these newer technologies. Think of it like an orchestra. You've got different ways of generating the electricity, but combined, they work exactly the same way as the older technology. Today, AEMO say that wind, solar, pumped hydro can deliver electricity prices between $45 and $50 wholesale into the New South Wales electricity system. Today, we're paying about $75 for coal-fired electricity. If you're using gas, you're looking at about $120 per megawatt hour for electricity. And then those people talking about nuclear, it's out at about $180 per megawatt hour. So if you care about cheap energy and reliable energy, then you're looking at wind, solar and pumped hydro.
I want to look at a local initiative in your area because sometimes it is important to go back to community when we're talking about these things. Your local Hornsby Council, I gather, is part of an initiative by a group of local governments to have their electricity needs all renewable. And you're hoping to do this with the help of 3 big solar farms. Can you tell us about that project and how it works for the local councils?
Well, local councils like Hornsby Council see that they too can make a contribution to reducing carbon emissions for our nation. So they're looking to transition their electricity providers from dirtier fuels to cleaner fuels, and that's exciting. And what that means is that the producers of renewable energy can have confidence to invest in that technology because they know they've got someone, a willing buyer, to be able to pay for that investment over the long period of time. So I'm really pleased that councils like Hornsby, City of Sydney, led by Clover Moore, they're similarly leading the charge when it comes to ensuring that they're able to access cheaper, cleaner, reliable energy for their ratepayers. And that's something that we want to encourage. I think the market has spoken. Consumers actually want to do their bit for our planet, and it also makes sense for their hip pockets. I mean, Hornsby Council is actually saving money because they're now sourcing their electricity from renewables. So that's a great thing for the environment, and it's a great thing for Hornsby ratepayers. And I'd encourage more councils to follow the lead of people like Philip Ruddock and Clover Moore, who are leading the way in this space.
You, I think, signed the COP26 pledge to boost electric vehicle sales to make 50% of all new vehicles sold in the state electric by 2030. That's just 8 years away. Have we got a long way to go in this country and in this state before electric vehicle take-up will become a reality on a big scale?
Yeah, we do have a long way to go, but I think that it will move pretty quickly. All the big car manufacturers are shifting away from combustion engine vehicles to electric. You think about Ford, Holden, General Motors, Toyota, they're all moving to solely electric. And that's before you look at the European car manufacturers. So soon you won't be able to buy anything other than an electric vehicle. And the responsibility for government is to make sure that we can facilitate the entry of that new technology into our market at a price point that's affordable for families across this state. Now that's what we've done in New South Wales. We've put in place policies that will start rolling out the infrastructure to support electric vehicles. We've put in place policies that will lower the price point for people to purchase an electric vehicle. So we think that we will be on track to hit that 50% target for all new cars sold in this state being electric by 2030. But let me say this, if you are serious about hitting net zero emissions, you need to be removing carbon out of the transport system by 2035. And the reason I say that is because the average life of a vehicle on the road is about 15 years. So you can't be selling new vehicles that are combustion engine from 2035. So the car manufacturers realise that. The New South Wales government realises that. That's our target, to be able to facilitate an orderly transition, to be able to accept that new technology into the marketplace by 2035. And it's going to happen whether people like it or not. If we don't get these policies right, then New South Wales, indeed Australia, will just become the dumping ground for the vehicles the rest of the world doesn't want. There'll be more expensive vehicles, there'll be high polluting vehicles. That's not the future of this country. We should embrace the change. We should grab this new technology. It's better for consumers, and they're great cars to drive, Marian.
Well, your son, born during the Black Summer bushfires, when he gets to the age of some of these students in the audience here today, are you confident you'll be able to give him your sense of optimism about his future in a warming world?
Yeah, I am. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about what's possible because of the ingenuity of human beings. I mean, you know, we've just faced one of the great challenges, the greatest challenges we've seen from a health perspective in over a century with the coronavirus pandemic. And within a matter of months, you know, human beings develop vaccines to keep us all safe and to enable us to come to an event like this in public and stay safe and well. And I have every confidence we'll be able to do the same when it comes to tackling climate change and benefit from tackling climate change. I mean, how exciting is it that there are now technologies that can deliver the power we need for our economies, but also will leave our atmosphere cleaner, the air we breathe better, have an impact on weather patterns and cycles for the better. And in doing so, create new jobs and create new industries and underwrite a new era of prosperity. So I'm hugely optimistic about the future for my son and every other kid in the generations that will follow. But it requires us to stand up now and take action. We can't ignore these problems. We can't just wish them away or pray them away or whatever. We should be listening to the best science, making decisions based on the evidence. And I'm confident we'll be able to tackle these challenges and leave our planet, leave our country to the next generation better than we found it.